It was a gun.
Not voting.
If we want to build our nation.
The problem with the Somalians.
Just want to experience something else than a black man.
Move on, move
Can't be like a horse with blinkers on.
Honestly say, I was about to have
corrupt
sex and then I pulled
crap,
up.
but it's nice.
Hi, I'm Zandile from Kailicha.
I'm Nontando Manuel from Friedenberg.
Hi, I'm Zizo. I'm from KZN.
Hi, I'm Luyo Ndengane from Kailicha.
Hi, I'm Naledi Giovanni from Fishhook.
We're about to become teachers. We've been taught almost everything we need to know before we get into teaching, but do you think we're ready? Like, have we really learned that much that we're able to stand in front of a class of about plus minus 40 children? Dengan?
Yes, we are ready in a sense of what, in terms of the confidence, but in terms of the content, I feel that there's so much that we need to know. And there's so much that the government as well keeps chopping and changing. You will feel that you are trained in a certain way. Then you will hear discussions on the radio. Maths lit is going to be phased out. And you're like, come on, I'm trained on maths lit. What am I going to do? So things like that, I feel that there's so much, I don't know.
And I feel like over the years, it has helped us a lot, because remember when we first came here in first year and we had to go for a teaching practice, it was really scary being in a classroom. Like when you first got there, you didn't know what to say and all that. But as the years went by, doing it over and over again, we've really gained our confidence also. And also the content that we teach in classroom, because obviously we have to read the textbooks before you get to the classroom, do your lesson plans and all that. So I think even that has also helped us gain the content knowledge that we need to go teach.
It is so sexy to say the least now, to be a teacher. Because to be an educator, not just a teacher, because being a teacher, you literally teach about from 8 to 3, but to be an educator, there's so much more, there's so much fears. It goes beyond the classroom. Because especially if you're an educator in your own community, you relate to kids, relate to people, all those things. You have to carry yourself in a certain manner. But there are so much expectations from the community as well.
Yes.
There's so much expectation. The aspect as educator, if I'm working maybe, let's say in a tavern with a bogle, you see those things. So because there's so much on the profession. Even now, the guys. Just yesterday, I had a conversation with a friend of mine did BS, all those things, BSc.
Science.
Yeah. So now he wants to do what PhD. Because what he can't find a job. Because he feels that it will be much more easier for them to find a job in this one. Remind you, they have the content, but the didactic principle they don't have. Because you can be super smart in something, but you have to relate that to the kids.
Yeah.
You see? Because that comes with the personality. Because teachers, there's a saying, sometimes it sounds cliched, teachers are born. Yeah, well, as a teacher, you just become a teacher. Because I know from myself and my mentor, it doesn't bring any textbook in class. It just stands there, literally stands there and delivers the content like that. And to be like, the guy comes effortlessly. That's how teaching should be. And every child relates to them. So there's so much that, not just about the content, because each and every child, if it doesn't matter if it's a female or male, they can come to Mr. Kevin or to my mentor and say, I have problem A, problem B, problem C. That is what educator is. But now, especially for us, especially for me as a male teacher, it becomes a problem. Because the moment my lady maybe is my student comes to me, yes, the kids are about to have crashes.
It goes that we must be. No, you had a thing with our presentation. You must be friends with them, but not whatever.
Your learners. You must be friendly to your learner, but you're not their friends. So you must be able to always draw a line. And I've also had a situation like that. I find myself talking to the boy because he's a grade 11 boy, but then he ends up going far beyond just having a teacher-learner conversation.
And it happens a lot because we young teachers. So when we get there to the classroom, they feel like, oh, we are on the same age group or so. Because and besides, sometimes it's because of their height and stuff. Because some of us, and all that. So they're like, I could try my luck here and stuff like that.
I've noticed it's a very huge disadvantage to go and do teaching practice in a community where they know you. Because I had an incident where a boy went into my Facebook page and he took every single picture in my Facebook account. We're not friends, but he knows my name and surname. So everyone in class had my pictures, and I had to be in the principal's office because I have this huge problem of no one listening to me, because every time I get into class, they have my pictures. So a crush of a child crushing you can go to so many ways.
Sorry. Then, as aspiring teachers, but at the same time, we're young people, how much should we put on our social media pages? What are our social media pages supposed to be like? Yeah, we still have a life besides our teaching jobs and everything, but we must know they're going to know our names. They know our surnames. They're going to access our pages, whether it's Twitter, whether it's Facebook.
Facebook always has that block, or when they're not friends with you, then they can't see anything except your profile picture. So I've came across that setting.
Getting back to what Manuel said about sometimes it's a disadvantage teaching your own community. Sometimes it's an advantage because coming from Kailicha, they need to see a role model.
Yeah.
They need to see a role model. They say, okay, if we can do it, then I can do it.
But
see,
how do you
things
take
like
it
that.
when you think it would be an advantage to them, as they would see you as your role model? You find yourself in class where you're teaching people that you are at school with, and you're teaching people that you know they are way older than you, and they feel so intimidated, and they make it hard for you to
I
teach.
think another thing that we forget when we go to TP is introductions.
Yes.
When you introduce yourself, you tell them who you are, but... Yeah, no, I don't mean it like
End
that.
up knowing it.
I know, but I still don't give them my name.
But then understanding me. Like, I mean, this in Sekaili, Chaimakaza, everyone knows me from here. I have kids who are my neighbors' kids or whatever. When you introduce yourself, you need to tell them why you're here and what you're hoping for them. I always do that because my first teaching practice, I introduced myself and then the teacher watched me the whole time. Everything went south after she left the room. So ever since that time, when I introduce myself to the class, I tell them why I'm here. I tell them what I'm hoping them to achieve and what is outside of this classroom. This is not the end. You know you need to get to varsity. You know you need to get a career. So you need to be like the inspiration, and they need to know you're here for them and not necessarily for everything after that. Just them knowing they can make it and that you're here to benefit them.
We've been seeing a lot of videos on Facebook, on like Twitter, about students that are actually violating teachers. Like, what do you think that we could do? Because I always have a lot to say. I'm very vocal. That I can deal with. But how do then I deal with a child coming from the back seat to come into my space? And yet we must keep in mind that the child will always be protected by the school. Me as a teacher, I will not be protected by the school, because at the end of the day, that child's going to be suspended. I have to come to school the next day after a child just like came into my space.
The child is coming back and you have to deal with that again.
Whilst
Never mind the
they're
fact that the
violated.
child was suspended, but at the end of the 5 days, you have to look and you're teaching the child as if nothing happened, but deep type, you know what? You did that
And
to
I
me.
feel like when you come back to the class, obviously the respect also is gonna, exactly. Everything will have changed in the classroom.
Now, like my son goes to Gordon's Bay in school. I went to rural school in Lady Frey firstly, and came to township school, all those things. But now, I feel that to answer your question in terms of what, if education is made to be something be everyone's business, because parents feel that education is for the teachers only. So that is where, whenever or you're doing something wrong, or you curse or someone says the wrong way, they'll be like, what do teachers teach you?
Yes.
Is that what you learn in school? Those are the things, as if they don't have any role.
Yes.
Teachers have so much to deal with. So there was the journal we just did about moral, all those things. What a teacher's job is to teach. But you cannot just isolate yourself and say, no, I'm just here to teach. You have to, as you said, you wanted to be a educational psychologist. You will end up being a general psychologist even though you're not practicing.
The title,
So all those things are there. So as for the kids, how do we make sure that those kids become more...
But it goes back to how laws are drawn up in South Africa. They don't really, it's like a top-down approach, and it's not like from a bottom-up approach, because they leave the rest of the community and society and teachers sometimes within decision making. I know with what you said about kids beating up teachers and stuff, at the school I previously went to, for first term, there was a certain punishment that they did on the kids if they did anything wrong. If you come late, you do squats or whatever, just some exercise so that you know you don't come late to school. Someone reported it, or the Department of Education came, and then for the third term, that was scrapped out, so they couldn't do anything. By the time I went there wasn't any kind of punishment except for detention. You write something, you're suspended or whatever. Chaos.
Guys.
It was chaotic, and all of the teachers didn't want to reprimand kids anymore.
Guys,
it was a matter of just leaving things to fate.
I know this will sound very racist, but I always believe that a black child hears by beating them. You know, if you do something wrong, you're gonna get beaten and you're going to listen. Detention doesn't work for our children, seriously. Because at the school that I was in, they get detention, they stay 4 hours after school. It's still chaos. I even suggested, why don't you guys do a school shutdown until every parent of the school comes and you involve them in it? Because even the principal doesn't know what to do because the kids are out of order.
But those same laws that are enshrined in the Constitution will be violating them by closing down the school. You see,
And the
as you
worst
said,
thing-
the laws
So
conflict
top-down,
each
yeah.
other because I have said it is my right. It is a learner's right to also to go to education. At the same time, if you are beating me, you're also violating my right.
How do you teach someone that does not want to be taught? How do you teach them? They can't stand outside.
They will tell you, you can't kick me out of class. I had an incident like that. I was like, leave my classroom. I was so annoyed. And he's like, you can't kick me out of class. The whole class like, ma'am, you can't kick him out of class. There's no detention, you can't kick them out of class. What do I do?
What parents? Where's
The parents,
involve the parents.
I feel the parents need to take an active role.
No,
into
the
this.
thing is, this one time, guys, I had a problem child in my class the last time we went for teaching practice. So I spoke to my mentor teacher, and then the thing went on for some time. So she spoke to the principal, and they called the parent to come to the school. And then the grandmother came, and then they told the grandmother what's been happening and stuff. And then she was like, but she's always doing the same things at home. She doesn't listen, so there's nothing I can do also.
That's why there was a
So
school.
they leave them up
There was a
to
school at
us
Side B.
and-
School at Side B, called Sasa or something like that. They had
name and shame?
no, it's not even name and shaming. I would like to applaud them. There was a nest there for females that want to watch for contraceptive. That is something. If they can also have a psychologist maybe in schools, that would be something that is good.
There's a lot of
You see, but the thing
psychologists
is,
that need jobs.
but if you go to township schools, if there's always that one teacher that is responsible for discipline. If whether it's harsh or what, will be sent there. You'll send there, okay, Mr. So and so will deal with him. Mr. So will deal with her. So maybe if they are young kids now are different to how maybe us or other kids were raised. So we know, as we said, we know how they know their rights. So because they read stuff and they are constantly on their phones, they watch stuff, they read all those things.
This is like the
It's,
informative generation.
There's always a difference between a student teacher and the teachers that are actually in the profession. Because you would walk into the staff room in the mornings, you would greet everyone, and you're dressed in your jeans and they would like, are you in a fashion show? And you're just trying to impress because you are dressing according to you. It's the way you say. But I just feel like if they set example, Kanye, if they actually helped us or supported us, would actually live up to the standards that they have for us.
My dream is to start an NGO for women to educate and empower them.
My dream is to never stop dreaming, because if I stop dreaming, that will be the end of me.
My dream is to teach my learners better than I was ever taught.
My dream is to be more, to empower people and to bring about change.
My dream is to open a homeless shelter and to teach children about self-empowerment and self-confidence.
Yazi, you should ever sit and talk with people, or else take a walk and create a straight talk. Talk what is nice, it will make you feel stronger. Listen what is right and say what is wrong. You should ever sit and talk with people, or else take a walk and create a straight talk. Talk what is nice, it will make you feel stronger. Listen what is right and say what is wrong.